as imagination, emotion, and fancy. S.T. Coleridge has distinguished imagination and fancy in his work Biographia Literaria. Poetry is in verse form. Dr. Samuel Johnson has defined poetry as a metrical composition, and it also has four elements of poetry. They are pleasure, truth, imagination, and reason. Carlyle has defined poetry as a musical thought. William Wordsworth has defined poetry as a spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings recollected in tranquility in his preface to lyrical ballads. S.T. Coleridge has defined poetry as an act of imagination. Now let us see kinds of poetry. Subjective poetry is a self-delineation and self-esteem expression. Objective poetry is expressed their world outside the poet. The lyric is the most delightful and pleasing form of a poet. It also expresses a single emotion. The word is defined as a rhymed lyric, often in the form of an address, generally dignified or exalted in subject, feeling, and style. Word to an intimations of immortality, word to skylark, word on a Grecian urn are best examples for word. The sonnet is a lyric in 14 lines in iambic pentameter. Thomas Wyatt and Surrey have introduced sonnet into English literature. The elegy is a lyric of mourning or a direct utterance of personal bereavement and sorrow. Thomas Gray has written Elegy written in country churchyard for the best example for elegy. The ballad is a simple narrative poem in short stanzas telling a story. The idyll, which derives its name from a Greek word which means a little picture. The epic is a long narrative in verse on great and serious subject related in an elevated style. John Milton's The Paradise Lost is the best example for the epic. The mock epic is a narrative poem in which the conventions of regular epic that are employed in connection with trivial things. Pope's A Rape of Lock is the best example for mock epic. The satire is a literary composition in prose or verse. Essay. Essay means an attempt or essay. Kinds of essay. The aphoristic essay. Bacon stands for the aphoristic essay. The character essay. Addison's essay on Sir Roger de Coverley belongs to this character essay. Arnold's essays are the critical essay. The periodical essay. Addison and Steele's The Spectator and the Tatler are the periodical essays. Charles Lamb's essay of Elia is a collection of essays or personal essays. Short story. It is a story that can be read at a single sitting. Biography was first used by John Dryden. It is a history of particular men's lives. Autobiography. The author who writes the story of his own life and achievements. Drama. Drama presents fiction or fact in a form that could be acted before audience. Drama is classified into tragedy, comedy, tragic comedy, farce, masque, and one-act play. Tragedy is a story that ends with sad ending. Othello, King Lear by William Shakespeare are tragedies. Comedy is a story that ends with happy ending. Midsummer Night's Dream, As You Like It, Merchant of Venice by Shakespeare are comedies. The tragic comedy is an amalgamation of tragedy and comedy. In other words, it is a mixture of tragedy and comedy. Farce. It is a dramatic work designed solely to produce laughter. The Mask is a dramatic entertainment. Plot, character, and dialogue are subordinated to spectacular illustration and musical accompaniment. The one act play is a single plot novel. It is a long narrative in prose detailing the actions of fictitious people. Kinds of novels are the historical novel, the picaresque novel, the stream of consciousness novel, the regional novel, the psychological novel, the epistolary novel, the Gothic novel, the detective novel, and the science fiction. The historical novel deals with the story of historical background and past incidents or events. The picaresque novel, the story revolves around anti-hero or rogue. The stream of consciousness novel. The term the stream of consciousness has been coined by William Jones. It is a narrative technique used by Virginia Woolf in her Mrs. Dalloway and To the Lighthouse, and James Joyce also has used this narrative technique in his novel. The regional novel, for example, Walter Scott, and in Indian writing in English, R.K. Narayan, they have also used the one location, that is Malgudi, that was used by R.K. Narayan, and it was also his novels also known as regional novel. The psychological novel was born in the period between 1913 to 1915. It expresses inwardness of experience. The epistolary novel is in the form of letters. The Gothic novel is a pseudo-Gothic castles, and its destruction has been described in ancient ballads and legends. The detective novel, the story is in crime or murder in secret. The science fiction, a conflict arises out of the impact of scientific discoveries on the future of humanity. H.G. Wells has written Time Machine, The Invisible Man, or science fiction. Figures of speech. Metaphor, it is a comparison of two objects or things. Simile is also a comparison between two objects or things, but the words like or as used in the sentence. Personification, it gives human qualities to an inanimate object. Example, the moon smiled down on us. Symbol, a word, it is a word, has its own meaning and it represents another word, object, or idea. Example, the dove peace. Apple, temptation. Hyperbole, it has another word, exaggeration, which has used for its emphasis. Example, I had a ton of homework. My mom is going to kill me. Thank you.